seconds. AI isn't just changing how we work, it's redefining who we work with. But here's the catch. The highest performing teams aren't the ones.
Okay, team, let's look at this data.
The AI shows a clear trend here.
Great work.
How can we leverage this?
Let's explore these options.
We often think about enhancing our teams only when a problem pops up, right?
Yeah, like a sudden fire drill.
Exactly, scrambling to fix what's broken. But what if the real secret to a high-performing team, one that's not just good, but constantly, improving, isn't about those reactive fixes?
What if it's something else?
What if it's something you should be doing all the time, proactively nurturing? That's exactly where we're headed today, especially as something as transformative as AI moves beyond being just another tool.
Just another app on your desktop.
Right, and truly becomes, well, an integral, bona fide member of your team.
It's a critical shift in perspective, really. Continuous team development isn't just about, patching holes when something goes wrong.
It's not just troubleshooting.
No, it's about making an already well-functioning team even better. It's an essential ongoing process.
Like training for a marathon, not just treating an injury.
Exactly. It guides a path of relentless improvement, and as organizations everywhere navigate these, monumental shifts brought on by artificial intelligence,
Which is happening so fast.
incredibly fast. This proactive approach to team health, it's just more crucial than it has ever been.
So, what does this truly mean for leaders and team members like you who are right in the thick of this transformation?
Yeah. What are the practical takeaways?
Today, we're going to take a deep dive into how AI is fundamentally reshaping organizations. We'll explore the specific leadership traits you need to cultivate right now.
The really essential ones.
And most importantly, how to ensure your teams don't just survive, but genuinely thrive and, excel in this dynamic new era of human-AI collaboration.
Thriving, not just surviving. That's the goal.
Okay, so before we even introduce AI into the equation, let's unpack the core ingredients. What makes any team effective?
Back to basics for a second.
Right. We're not talking about some one-size-fits-all standard solution, because every single team is just different, a unique ecosystem.
Totally unique.
True team effectiveness always starts with a thorough, honest analysis of your team's current strengths, its specific needs.
And maybe where the energy is flowing or where it's stuck.
Exactly. Where it isn't flowing.
And building on that foundation. Truly successful team development consistently hones key areas. Sharpens communication.
Which is always harder than it sounds.
Always. It cultivates the ability to give and receive effective feedback. That's a two-way street. It deepens mutual trust among members, and it relentlessly pursues clear shared goals.
That clarity is key.
It is. And our sources really underscore that simply having, say, effective working agreements, while important, it just isn't enough on its own.
You need more.
You need more.
Yeah.
Teams need to understand each other on a much deeper, more intuitive level. Which, raises an important question.
Yeah.
How do you actually foster that kind of profound interpersonal understanding when everyone on the team is so different?
Okay. This next piece is fascinating. Understanding team culture.
Yes, the feel of the team.
Exactly. Think for a moment about why some interactions with a team member feel effortlessly smooth. Almost telepathic,
Like you're perfectly in sync.
While others consistently result in friction or misunderstandings, even when everyone means well.
Yeah, those constant little clashes.
The Insights Discovery Profile offers a remarkably simple yet powerful framework to understand these underlying dynamics. It categorizes individual preferences into 4 distinct colors.
4 colors. I guess so.
So first, you have cool side blue. These are your think tank individuals, incredibly focused on rational skills, structured ideas, meticulous risk management.
Data-driven analytical.
Spot on. They thrive on data, ensuring every detail is considered. Then there's fiery red.
Okay.
These folks are driven by results, pushing hard for outcomes. Now, on a less than ideal day, they can become a bit like territorial bulldogs that may be prioritizing the end result.
Even at the expense of process.
Sometimes, or even at worst, ethics, potentially. Then we have Earth Green.
Earth green sounds calmer.
They bring a stable, supportive energy. They value harmony, strong relationships, very team-oriented.
The glue, maybe?
Often, yeah. And finally, Sunshine Sly Yellow. They embody enthusiasm, creativity, a knack for inspiring others.
High energy.
Definitely, though they might occasionally lose track of the details. So imagine how different a think tank, cool blue team feels compared to, say, a freewheeling jazz band, Sunshine Yellow team.
Totally different vibe.
Understanding all four of these preferences profoundly impacts team culture, dynamics. It helps you pinpoint strengths, identify weaknesses, and maybe most importantly, recognize those crucial gaps holding your team back.
That understanding of different preferences is absolutely vital, especially, like you said, when it comes to delivering feedback.
Right. How do you give feedback effectively then?
Well, it prompts the question, how do you give constructive feedback effectively when you know people process information and emotions so differently?
Yeah.
The D4 feedback model provides a practical and I think highly effective approach for this.
D4. Okay, break that down.
It emphasizes structuring your feedback. You start with data, the factual, observable information, like you arrived a quarter of an hour late to the project stand-up. Just the facts.
Okay, objective.
Then you move to dramatic interpretation, explaining the impact. It meant we couldn't start on time. The whole team had to wait.
The consequence.
Exactly. Next, you articulate the depth of feeling, how it made you or the team feel. This made me feel frustrated, as we had a tight agenda.
Acknowledging the emotion.
Crucial. Only after establishing those 3 points do you suggest the specific action you'd like to see changed. Going forward, please ensure you're on time, or let us know if there's a delay.
Data dramatic interpretation. Depth of feeling due D4.
Right. This approach moves beyond just stating what happened. It conveys the effect, making the feedback far more receivable and actionable, regardless of someone's color preference.
That makes sense. The D4 model helps us deliver feedback.
Mm-hmm.
But the very foundation on which that feedback lands, and really all team interactions flourish, is trust.
Trust. Yes.
And trust. It's the invisible glue, isn't it? Makes everything else work or fall apart.
Tragically fall apart sometimes. It's something that develops over time through consistent, reliable actions, shared vulnerabilities even.
But it's also incredibly fragile.
Oh, so fragile. Hard won, incredibly easy to shatter.
And often agonizingly difficult, maybe impossible to fully restore once it's broken.
It really can be. In high-trust teams, though, you see people who are open, honest.
They dare to be themselves.
Exactly. Brave enough to truly be themselves. And they feel a deep sense of pride in their contributions, their collective achievements.
That's psychological safety.
That's the term. They know they can rely on each other, and that safety fosters incredible innovation.
Okay, now, let's bring in the elephant in the room, or maybe the, incredibly efficient data-crunching, pattern-spotting AI.
The AI teammate.
Right. Today, AI is no longer just some theoretical concept or a quiet back-office assistant humming away.
Not anymore.
It's actively driving multi-billion-dollar investment strategies. It's assisting in diagnosing complex diseases in hospitals. It's automating intricate tasks across, well, almost every industry.
Its reach is staggering.
Its ability to analyze just colossal amounts of data in the blink of an eye isn't just valuable, it's redefining human expertise.
How so?
It's pushing us beyond just analyzing data into higher-order thinking, synthesis, ethical considerations. It's not just what do the numbers say anymore.
It's what do the numbers mean?
Exactly. What do they mean for our strategy, our values, our future?
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, the critical challenge for leaders today is navigating that, delicate balance between automation and maintaining the irreplaceable human touch.
Finding that sweet spot.
Right. The true transformative power of AI lies not in making human abilities obsolete, but in its capacity to profoundly augment them.
Augment, not replace.
Precisely. This means consciously prioritizing human aspects like creativity, empathy, nuanced decision-making, ethical judgment, keeping those at the forefront.
Got any examples?
Sure. Think about the Cleveland Clinic. AI systems help sift through vast medical data, spotting potential disease patterns.
Patterns a human might miss, potentially, or just much faster. But it's always the human doctors who make the final diagnosis using their clinical experience, their empathy with the patient.
Human judgment is still key.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Or JP Morgan Chase, they use AI for sophisticated fraud detection, flagging anomalies. But human analysts interpret those flags. Investigate the complex cases needing judgment beyond algorithms.
Makes sense.
And BMW factories? AI robots handle repetitive tasks like painting with incredible precision, yet human workers oversee the whole process, troubleshoot problems, handle complex quality control.
So it's collaboration.
These are powerful illustrations of successful human-AI collaboration in action, integrating, not just replacing.
Okay. But here's where it gets really interesting and maybe a bit thorny. The black box nature of AI.
Ah, the black box.
Yeah. These AI algorithms get incredibly sophisticated. Their internal decision-making processes often become less and less transparent.
You can't easily see how it got the answer.
Exactly. It's a super intelligent mind at work, but you can't quite follow its logic. And this opacity, it raises huge ethical concerns.
Like what?
Well, from basic questions like who owns the data AI uses, to who's accountable if an AI messes up.
Makes a critical error, yeah.
And even the risk that these systems might accidentally reinforce existing biases if we're not super careful.
That's a big one.
It's a huge hurdle to building genuine trust in these powerful systems.
And what's fascinating here is just how pervasive this black box issue actually is.
How common is it?
Recent research by Anthropic, the Claude AI model found that roughly 3/4 of responses from generative AI models lacked clear, transparent explanations for their output.
3/4? That's huge.
It is. Imagine an AI denying your loan application with no reason given. Or a medical tool suggesting a treatment without explaining why.
That lack of transparency, it kills trust.
It profoundly impacts trust, makes troubleshooting incredibly difficult when things go wrong, and severely complicates accountability. Who is responsible when a black box AI causes harm?
Right. So what's the answer?
It really underscores a critical responsibility for leaders. They have to commit to a culture of transparency, mandate clear documentation of algorithms, implement continuous monitoring, establish robust mechanisms for accountability.
It's not just about performance then.
No, it's not enough to trust that AI performs well. We must also cultivate trust in how it functions, ensuring human oversight and responsibility remain paramount.
Okay, so with AI transforming so many tasks, responsibilities, managers are really being called upon to operate way outside their traditional comfort zones, their expertise bubbles.
Definitely pushing boundaries.
Which raises an important question for you, the leader listening. How do you effectively lead a multidisciplinary team where some employees have highly specialized technical skills that might frankly far outweigh your own?
It's a totally different ballgame.
Completely. Demands a new kind of leadership agility.
And this new reality means leaders must become adept translators.
Translators? Explain that.
They don't need to become coding experts necessarily, but they do need enough technical proficiency to really understand AI's limits, its immense possibilities.
And crucially,
how to ask the right questions about its implementation and impact.
is there a gap there currently?
Our sources reveal a significant one, actually. Only about 33% of respondents felt confident that their current leaders have enough tech expertise to effectively guide AI initiatives.
Wow, only a third.
Yeah. So leaders need to set the example, embrace AI tools themselves, explore their potential, actively encourage their teams to do the same, foster that culture of innovation, provide resources for exploration.
But it's not just about the tech, right?
Oh, definitely not. Leadership in the AI era is fundamentally about mastering change management and prioritizing the human side of this whole transformation.
The people part.
The people part. Leaders need deep empathy, the ability to genuinely sit with people through discomfort, motivate them through uncertainty, inspire them towards a shared future.
So addressing those fears.
Absolutely. Proactively addressing employees' understandable psychological concerns, the fear of being replaced or being deemed incompetent.
Or even losing skills.
Yeah. Even the risk of diminished human abilities over time if we over-rely on these systems. It's about guidance, support, not just top-down management.
Okay, let's unpack this a bit more. The rapidly evolving nature of AI means leaders need to embrace a truly experimental culture.
Get comfortable with trying things out.
Right. What does that mean in practice? It means being okay with uncertainty, accepting that mistakes are just learning opportunities.
Not failures.
Not failures, and actively promoting agile methods.
Agile meaning quick adjustments.
Essentially, yeah, rapid iterative adjustments based on continuous feedback rather than sticking rigidly to long-term inflexible plans.
Adapting on the fly.
An agile leader becomes more like an eyes-on, hands-off architect of a successful team.
Not a micromanager.
Definitely not. This is incredibly difficult for many leaders, especially those used to more traditional top-down control.
Letting go is hard.
Very. But it's absolutely essential for making those quick, constant adjustments needed in this fast-moving AI environment. It's about creating the context, the psychological safety for the team to perform.
Without the leader becoming the bottleneck.
Precisely.
Which raises another critical practical question. How do you genuinely get employees on board with providing that constant high-quality data input that AI systems need to learn and improve?
Yeah, that requires effort.
It requires more than just a mandate. It demands real collaboration, sustained discipline, and leaders play the pivotal role here.
How?
By consistently demonstrating the direct relevance, the tangible benefits of AI to their team's daily work, making it clear how these systems enhance their jobs rather than threaten them.
Showing the what's in it for them.
Exactly. And our sources vividly illustrate the power of culture and engagement here. Organizations with well-defined positive cultures, they report 27% lower turnover.
Wow.
And highly engaged employees are an impressive 21% more productive.
That's significant.
It is. And leaders are the undeniable key to cultivating that positive culture, fostering deeply engaged teams. It comes down to transparent communication, unwavering trust.
So the confident leader.
The confident leader, as our sources describe, doesn't just value the outcome. They envision success so contagiously it inspires everyone. They embrace courage.
Courage to face discomfort.
Yes. To view discomfort or even conflict not as problems to avoid, but as vital opportunities for growth, for deeper understanding.
Choosing the right way, not the easy way.
Consistently choosing the right way over the easy way, even if it means momentarily rocking the boat to steer towards a more effective, destination.
So as we bring this deep dive to a close, the big takeaway seems to be that AI isn't merely a technological change.
It's much bigger than that.
It's a profound systemic shift in how we work, how we lead, and crucially, what it means to be human in the workplace. Your role, whether you're a team member or a leader, is actually becoming more human, not less.
That might sound counterintuitive, but it's true.
It's about leveraging AI's immense power to augment, to free up your valuable time for the truly human stuff. Creativity, deep empathy, complex problem solving, strategic thinking.
Building that trust.
Building unwavering trust, fostering that critical psychological safety we talked about, and continuously adapting to empower your teams, not just to perform, but to truly innovate and thrive.
Which leaves you, the listener, with an important question to consider as you step back into your work.
Okay.
In a world where AI can now summarize, code, reason, and engage in dialogue with unprecedented speed and scale,
Yeah.
what unique human problem are you now truly free to solve?
The problem only a human can tackle.
Exactly. That only you with your distinct intuition, your boundless imagination, and your innate ability to connect deeply with others can truly tackle.